I'm Doug with jerky.com, and today in our test kitchen, we're making this bread and butter pickle beef jerky recipe. All right, let's just jump right into this one. I always have 2 pounds of meat already pre-cut in my freezer, ready to go. That makes it really easy for me to make these test batches really quickly and easily. So this is 2 pounds of pre-sliced olive round. Overall, this is a really easy recipe. It calls for 2 cups of bread and butter pickle juice, and I've actually made this recipe before, and I know 2 of these jars is exactly 2 cups. Worcestershire, garlic powder, onion powder, black pepper, salt, and liquid smoke. Now we'll also have all of these ingredients plus all of the steps on our blog. You'll also find that link down in the description. First thing I do is I always pull all the pieces apart because they tend to stick together. So you really want to pull them all apart to make sure that every piece of this meat really gets covered. Like I said, first thing I always do is just go in and make sure they all get unstuck. Then once that happens, just mix this stuff thoroughly. You want to make sure all the powdered ingredients really dissolve into the liquid. Then the second thing you want to do is just make sure even coverage. Every single piece of meat gets properly coated. So just mix this stuff thoroughly. Do not half-ass this step. And once you think you've got everything properly dissolved, all that's left is to cover it up tightly, throw it in the fridge. All right, had this in the fridge now for almost 40 hours. And it smells like bread and butter pickle, I'll tell you that. Now all we gotta do is get it all racked up to go in the dehydrator. Now racking this stuff up isn't rocket science. Make sure all your pieces are laying nice and flat. What happens is that meat won't get dried in the middle, so that ends up being some pretty nasty stuff. Then just make sure that the pieces aren't touching. You want plenty of airflow all the way around the meat. And then just kind of know the capacity of your machine. I know this machine is a 6-rack machine. I can get pretty comfortably 4 pounds of beef in one full load on this machine. So I don't have to worry too much about being a Tetris master. As long as these things are laid out flat, I know I got plenty of trays. All right, let's get this meat drying. I know in this machine, about 140 degrees, and I usually start checking this one at about 3.5 hours. All right. It's been about 4 hours. I started checking this at 3.5 hours, and I'll tell you, it smells like bread and butter pickles in here. A little bit of surface moisture, but this ran for just over 4 hours, and I've been letting it rest for about 1.5 hours, so I really like it. The pliability feels good. I'm calling bread and butter pickle done. I've been looking forward to try this one, so let's dig right in. The more I chew it, the more that bread and butter pickle flavor comes out. It definitely tastes like bread and butter pickle. Honestly, it's a little odd to me and I can't put my finger on it, but at the end of the day, I really enjoy this one. If you're a pickle person and you love bread and butter pickle, you should absolutely try this one. I promise you will not be disappointed. And if you're gonna make this one, let me know down in the comments. And when you make it, come back and tell me how it turned out. Also tell me what you might change next time, because who knows, I may take your suggestions and make it in our next video. If you enjoyed this video and got any value out of it whatsoever, please consider liking our video and subscribing to our channel, because we're dropping new beef jerky recipes all the time, and I don't want you to miss a single one. Thanks for watching this one, and I'll see you next time in the jerky.com test kitchen.